Magic 89.9.
You are listening to Magic 89.9, today's best music, and this is Pit Stop with Jada.
Maybe he's just looking at
That was Beanie. Okay, and you are with Jada.
We
Gamboa?
and Eggay Q here.
Okay.
Q, I love it.
Oh, wow. Eggay Q, Ouija dapat.
Easy
You know
G.
what? I'm still trying to... Oh, this is not...
Ouija. WG's for weight gain. Wow.
We saw I saw at least your stories or your reels about your boxing naps. Okay, so full support with me.
Hindi na pareho pa rin ang
Sabihin na naman yan, pareho pa rin eh.
But we are doing Pit Stop. It is a Wednesday at 13 minutes after 3 o'clock. We are going to be here until 5 o'clock. Boys and girls, we are taking in questions because today, in just a few minutes, we are going to be having, as our special guest,
electrifying guest, if I may say. Yeah.
Yes.
He's one of the prime movers of the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines, none other than Dr. Manny Bayona. We'll be having him in a while.
Oh, so many questions, huh?
Yeah, so,
Yes.
I'm sure, Jada, after this episode, after this show, we Gamboa, who just bought a hybrid CRV, ibebenta na yan. Tutuloy na ng EV yan. Alam mo, madaling bentahan to si Wee.
Wow.
Walang
Why?
kahirap-hirap. Ay, nako, hindi mo alam ang capability ng taong to.
Yes.
Fake news.
Okay, and also, speaking of news, we are going to be doing some news. What's your news, Wee?
We're gonna be talking about the newly implemented, well, not yet, to be implemented, the soon-to-be implemented coding scheme in EDSA. So this is gonna start June 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, June 16.
So there are a lot of questions. What car should I use during this day and all? So yeah, we're gonna stretch that.
How about you, Eggay? What's your bound for today?
Feedback from the recently imposed NCAP.
Oh, okay.
Feedbacks from motorists, from our journalist friends in the motoring beat.
Yeah, it's gonna
Okay.
be a long day for us.
Okay, I'm going to do some motoring sports news. Something that I wanted to do last week, but I didn't care because Max was at the podium, and now he's not. So I'm happy. Charles, my
Charles.
favorite at least.
Yeah.
I don't know who your favorite is, but I'm sure there are people out there who would also want to find out what's happening in the sports world of F1. Hey, it's now 3:15.
That not 3:15.
What
Yeah,
time?
that time check was brought to you by Sprite. Cool ka lang, mainit ang summer. Refresh ka muna with Sprite.
You know, I'd like to have a can of Sprite right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're tuned in and send some over. A cool can of Sprite.
And a bottle of vodka.
You really said that on air.
I didn't say that. That was Eggay, okay? And right now, let's take a listen to some Apple the App and SB19 for ya. Ready 2024. You were listening to Magic 89.9.
Magic 89.9.
Magic 89.9, today's best music, Addison Rae, Aquamarine.
That song was brought to you by Mega Panalo. Panalo. Ano ba yan? Panalo. Gaming for 21 years old and above only. Keep it fun. Game responsibly.
All right.
Panalo.
Yeah,
There you
fun
go.
all. And you know what else is fun? Drinking Sprite.
Oh, yeah.
Because it
Yes.
is 3:27 right now in the afternoon, and that time check was brought to you by Sprite. Cool ka lang, mainit ang summer. Refresh ka muna with Sprite. And we are going to start with our, motoring news. Hiniram yung motoring news na motoring today.
It's okay, it's fine.
Ito na. Sige, we Gamboa, what is your baon for the news today?
Okay, so this particular news was actually, it made a lot of waves in the motoring industry. This is the soon-to-be implemented coding scheme in EDSA.
In EDSA.
So it's, I don't know, for me it's really confusing, no? Kasi you're not allowed to use your car 3 times in a week.
Yes.
So that's a bummer if you think about it, no? And a lot of questions are asked. Bakit ganito? Are hybrids, exempted? And so they're doing this naman in fairness to the government, just to minimize the traffic. Pero I'm not sure if that's the correct or the right way to go to go on with it. But, can I ask you, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, I'm just scared because, I don't own any other cars. I only have one. So, on the days
that's good.
on the days that I will not be allowed on EDSA, I just want to know, does this include, because there's the odd even scheme and then there's the color coding scheme. Are they going to use it all at the same time? Or are they going to implement everything at the same time? So that will be 4 days for some people, not just 3 days, right?
I'm number 3. One of my cars ends in number 3. So I'm practically allowed to use EDSA for, I think, once a week.
Just once a week.
Monday to Friday,
Yeah. So you have, and there is no window. There's
This is-
no window for these things.
For now, they're saying it's a 24-hour thing.
Okay.
Whoa.
There's no window.
But this is the thing. Let me read the caption that was first released to the public now. An odd even scheme will be carried out in EDSA once rehabilitation work slated in June begin. The MMDA announces vehicles with plates ending in 1, 3, 5, and 7 and 9 are banned on the thoroughfare on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yes.
So while those ending in 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 will be prohibited on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So
Even on
medyo
a
bummer
weekend.
yun sa
Yes,
mga
even on a
taong
weekend.
kahit dalawa lang yung car mo eh.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 24 hours.
Yeah.
On a
24
Saturday.
hour- on a Saturday, yeah. So one weekend for all these vehicles, it's shut already. You have to find another way to get to SLEX or NLEX, or places like that.
Yeah, but your question was very fair. If you can cross EDSA,
Ayun pala, can we cross EDSA?
Yes,
That's
yes.
we can?
That was cleared by the MMDA and Secretary Vince Tizon as well. So, for example, you're crossing EDSA from Camias to Kamuning,
Yes.
or from Ayala Avenue going to McKinley Road.
Ortigas Extension.
From Ortigas Extension.
That's allowed.
Yeah,
You are
you're
allowed. You're allowed.
Okay, all right. That's great news. Okay, and we are gonna have. Hey, if there's anything that you want to ask us at playback.tv/magic899, we are reading off your messages, guys. We're not ignoring them. Also, you can call us up 631-8803. Oh, 8631.
0899.
Thank you. That's somebody else's number.
It's fine. Kanino number yan? Baka tawagan ng mga tao yan.
I don't know. 86310899.
There you go.
Okay, that is, my goodness. Okay, we are gonna have.
Are you on your way out?
Huh?
Are you on the chopping board?
No, I just sat here, guys. Give me a chance. Okay, we are gonna move to Eggay's bit of news later on, but your questions regarding Wee's bit of news they're all welcome. Okay, people are already asking on playback, but we are gonna get into that later on. But for now, let's have some moves from Jagger. No, from Maroon 5. Moves like Jagger on Magic 89.9.
Magic 89.9.
All right, we are still doing some motoring news for you guys, but later on we have our special guest, and he is from the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines. Eggay, Quesada, what is the name of the full name? Because I only know him as Doc Manny. So the full name
Dr. Manny Bayona.
Dr. Manny Bayona. We are gonna have him in a few minutes, but for now we are gonna get to your piece of news, which is about.
So just an NCAP update.
Okay, what's happening with NCAP?
As we know, NCAP was brought back last Monday. Effective ulit last Monday. And according to the MMDA, they have monitored 580 violators.
Already.
First day
In
only.
a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last Monday. So I'm just curious kung come Tuesday and today, tumaas ba? Kumonti bang violators? Diba natutubang sumunod? Marami pa rin bang hindi informed? These are the... Kasi I've been reading posts from car sectors and motorcycle sectors. No? Siyempre, ang motorcycle sector, ang complaint nila, especially in the video that has gone viral.
Nasa one lane lang sila, no?
Yes.
Along Commonwealth.
Yes. It's such a beauty to watch, though. They're all in one. I love it.
I second that.
It's really nice.
The reason, well, actually kasama ako doon because I ride all...
Sorry naman.
I ride almost every day.
Dapat pala bumusina muna
No,
tayo.
I'm totally fine with that.
Okay.
I ride almost every day. So, ang point naman ng mga motorcycle organizations is that paano naman yung mga vehicles na nasa first or second lane and it's time for them to make a turn or go inside the subdivision, di ba? paano sila lulusot dun sa, nakita niyo naman, piled up dun sa third or fourth lane ba yun
Yeah.
ng Commonwealth, di ba? And one more reason, hindi naman lahat ng riders nagbibigay kaagad.
Hindi sila
yes.
nagbibigay. But,
I mean, in fairness, there's two sides always. Okay? Maraming kamoting four wheels, marami rin kamoting two wheels.
mas madami yung 2 wheels.
Siguro sa mata mo.
We are gonna ask Doc later.
Yeah.
What is
Tatawa si
the
Doc,
ratio between 2 wheels and 4 wheels on the road? On at least lang man Metro Manila.
Wait,
if he knows the ratio.
konti ang EV na two wheels, ha?
And then we're
Konti
talking
ang-
about the generic number of wheels on the road. Like,
Yeah.
which is more bad, the 4 wheels or the 2 wheels, or the 10 wheelers and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but anyway, so different reactions. Ako personally, sabi ko nga, I both drive.
And ride.
I both drive and ride.
Yes.
Siyempre, personally, meron ako sarili ko opinion. Hindi ako in favor dito, hindi ako in favor dyan. Pero, if it's a law,
You follow it.
oh yeah, let's
You
follow.
have to follow
let's
it.
follow first.
Yes.
And then, kung talaga marami kang time,
Inconvenient.
then you be the one to initiate, I don't know, a protest. You go to a
yes.
court.
Properly.
Do it
Yes.
properly,
Yes.
Let's not,
Act on it on the road
and on SOCMED.
and on SOCMED. Let's not take
Right.
our conversation or our battles in social
Yes.
media.
Yes.
Okay, so may mga questions dito. Ay, yung vodka pa rin ang nakita ko. What's your take on the odd-even scheme that will be implemented on EDSA? Well, you already know how we feel about it.
Yeah.
Not very good, of course.
Oh, wait, may I just say on air the one
yes.
I told you guys earlier. Yesterday, DOTR Secretary Vince Dizon went on air to say that they're having the odd even scheme as a dry run from June 16
Okay.
for 1 month to
For a
July
month.
16. And he also said that within the dry run period, there will be no apprehensions. Okay,
Okay.
just a reminder. Just a reminder.
Okay.
For those violators. No?
I don't think I'll follow that. I mean, if it's a dry run.
It's just disappointing. This is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing because check Vince, why did you have to say that?
That it's a dry run. Yeah.
Sana okay na
Implement
eh.
right away.
Ngayon, I'm sure there are people who will try to,
Of
do
course.
some things like, I'm fine with being,
Yes,
paparayin lang ako.
Yes.
They will give me a warning.
because it's a dry run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay na eh. Bakit
Wait,
kailangan pang
is he
sabihin
still
yun?
the secretary?
Yes.
Oh, he was
Yes.
retained. Congratulations.
He said he doesn't know yet. But
Oh,
for
okay.
as long as he's not being removed, he's gonna continue to do his
Oh,
job.
wait, Jada, sorry. What about the toll fees that should or would be waived?
Oh, yeah, with regards to...
Well, sabi
Does
kasi
he really know that's going to be waived?
Okay, just so you know, guys, there was a news bit last week wherein Secretary Dizon, before he submitted his resignation, said that he will ask SMC to waive the toll fees on the skyways that will be affected or, that are connected to the EDSA rehabilitation. And he said in that, okay, may disclaimer naman eh. In that article, he said he was gonna ask.
Yeah, okay.
But now it's confirmed. They will be waiving it.
Yes, and because of that, MVP Group Chief Manny Pangalinan is also thinking of helping by way of, I think, the Smart Connect.
Okay.
Diba? That's MPTC, that's Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation.
That's his.
Yeah.
It's
Baka
under his.
ilibre din niya yung part nila.
Oh, okay.
Jurisdiction
That's very
nila.
nice. I thought he
Yeah.
was gonna, stand in the toll and give away money. I mean, that would have been so much nicer. But I'm just sorry. I have a vision. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, okay, great bits and pieces of news. And later on, we are going to be talking about electric vehicles. It's time to go electric. No, I mean, I didn't say that. Wait, we are going to play your
You can do
requests. Okay, we are going to play your requests. You can call us up 863108999 and also on playback.tv/magic899 as well. Now let's have some Jungkook. Oh, I miss you. Never let go. This is Pit Stop with Jada
We
Eggay.
on Magic 89.9.
Magic 89.9. 89.9.
And yes, Doc Manny of EVAP. You know, of course, this is a type of milk, no? EVAP condensada.
Wow. Oy.
Di pinasok ko talaga siya, guys.
Pinasok na yun.
Teka, pinasok ko. When you named your name, when you named your association as that, you were aware that this, your acronym is like the nickname of Evaporada.
EVAP.
No!
We haven't really thought of that. Only now after so many years.
Just a DJ like you.
You're the only one
Like
that
us, like us.
thought of it.
I am so sorry, but now at least you're aware.
But if you look at ASEAN, Thailand is EVAT. Malaysia is EVAM. So
Okay.
Singapore is EVAT.
So it's the same. It's
yeah,
just
we're at
the
par.
last,
We're at par
I
with
think,
everyone else. Yeah.
Philippines started the trend.
The EVA,
Yeah.
the EVA, yeah.
the EVAT and all of that. Okay, but we left with a question for Doc Manny. What question did we leave with Doc Manny? Oh,
Oh, wait,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sige.
No,
Go ahead.
we ended last time with the I think the EDSA scheme.
The EDSA color coding scheme. So how, of course, everybody wants to buy an EV now because they will be accepted with the thing that they're going to implement next month on EDSA.
June 16 to be exact.
Which is supposedly, by the way, guys, it's a dry run, according to Sec Dison. How do you feel about this? I'm sure you are very happy because more EVs are gonna be driving on this
On the road,
major thoroughfare in Manila.
Yeah, definitely. We're expecting that there will be a boost in EV sales. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, are we prepared for the demand?
Yeah, there's supply. There's enough supply of EVs. And our members have been saying they're ready to cope with the demand. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I mean, how early were you guys planning about this? Since it was just announced like a couple of days ago. So how fast were you planning this? Kumbaga, was this really shocking to you?
Or did you know already
Yeah.
before it was
No.
announced?
No, but I'm basing my presumption to what's happening globally right now, right? So U.S. and some other countries have increased the tariff on electric vehicles. So there's basically an oversupply of electric vehicles production in China. So that's why we don't actually have to wait for the supply to come. It's in there, just sitting. We just have to pull them in. So to some degree, the tariff wars help this whole thing. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Now I'm so, there is a conspiracy theory brewing in my head right now. To increase the sales of the EV, they started that rehabilitation on EDSA, wherein the EVs are going to be exempted on the color coding scheme.
So,
No, but you have to remember the exemption of the hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and EVs. That's been signed when? Medyo matagal na naman.
Yeah, I know.
And I read the letter of Secretary Vince Dizon to MMDA Chairman Don Artes reminding him that EV shouldn't be included. Population is just 24,000, so it's definitely not gonna contribute to the traffic. But actually contribute in a positive way of 24,000 less emissions.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and if let's say I'm not like we and Eggay who can buy an EV tomorrow,
wow.
Sana.
can afford to buy an EV like on the fly.
Sana talaga. Sana.
What is the first thing that I need to know before I buy an electronic vehicle, whether it's a 4-wheel or a 2-wheel, that I can use in the innards of Metro Manila?
Bago yun, electronic vehicle.
Electric vehicle, sorry.
Well, medyo ano naman siya.
Also the difference
medyo
between
naman niya.
electric and electronic. Apparently there's a difference. I didn't know that. So what's the first thing that I need to know when I gonna buy an electric vehicle?
Yeah, in the past. So
Doc Manny, lapit tayo sa mic.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer this in two
Take your time,
two
Doc
time
Manny.
zones.
Okay.
So in the past, the first consideration is what's the range? Is there charging station? Are there charging stations out there? Well, it's because in the past you're looking at around 200 kilometers and below range. Wherein most probably you need to charge outside of your home.
Okay.
Yeah, but now you're looking at EV.
It's doubled right now, right?
Yeah, it's double right now.
At the
So
least.
the norm is around 400 kilometers and up. To some degree, that is because of the incentives provided by China because they would want to up the game in terms of range because they basically control the battery material supply and battery supply in the world.
Okay.
So to create market for them, they up the game.
The battery
The
technology.
And advancement
the minimum
technology
range,
also, right?
the minimum
Minimum
range, like they now only provide manufacturer incentives to vehicles that have 400 kilometers and up range.
Okay,
so
so
that affected. So right now, actually, charging stations is not much really of an issue.
Okay.
However, of course, it will help sell the vehicles. But once you start using it, you realize that, I don't actually need the charging
That
station.
much charge.
Not much, really. I will need them from time, but not really. But I would say around 90%, 95% of the time, you're going to charge at home.
Okay, a question lang, Doc, with the numbers because I'm not a numbers person. So, let's say, before you buy, you have to figure out the distance that you travel on a daily basis,
Yes,
on a
daily
weekly basis.
yes.
What is 200 kilometers? Let's say, let's say you're coming from Caloocan to, or say, SM North EDSA to which SM along EDSA? What's 200 kilometers?
Siguro ako, I'm more familiar with let's say
North.
going to Malolos, Bulacan.
Okay, let's do that. Okay,
So that's from Manila to Malolos, Bulacan is 40 kilometers.
40 kilometers.
So Baguio, I think, is
275 before
kilometers.
without the T-Plex, SCTEX. Now it's probably a bit shorter.
Oh, really?
And you can carry on with just one-time charging with your EV if you're
400.
coming from Manila going to Baguio.
Yes, and
You
then
don't
in
have to
Baguio,
make stops.
there are chargers also in Baguio. So,
There are charges.
yeah,
so coming back won't be a problem.
I think you have to. If you're talking about Baguio City, remember it's 275. Average now of an EV.
You have to stop
400.
somewhere.
So, before going back to Manila,
Mag-charge ka na.
you have to charge.
You have to charge already.
That's why it would be good to promote installation of charging stations in hotels.
Yes, para habang naka-check-in,
Because
there's no time
when
wasted.
you go out
Yeah.
But not in your everyday use. Yeah.
Okay, on top of your head, which hotels have charging stations now? In Luzon, at least.
In Luzon, in Fairmont, there's one. A lot of malls.
A lot of malls.
Yes, and
There are also
Mega
some charging
Opus.
stations in hotels in Subic, also in Clark. So yeah,
How do you pay for the charging stations?
app. You have to download an app.
app, yes.
So it's a universal app for all EVs, or
No, it depends.
Depends on the
yeah.
brand of the charger. Is that right?
Oh.
Yeah, of the operator.
Operator.
So it's charging operator. So but right now, DOE has an initiative to introduce standards so that promotes interoperability of the apps and also even interoperability of payment systems. So hopefully soon, you have an interoperable system wherein you can pay using any of the available apps right now.
Okay, so the charging stations, it does not cater to a particular brand. It caters to all.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what brand
Yeah.
you're carrying.
Okay, yeah, well, that's good to hear.
Okay.
I haven't heard of electronic.
Oh, what's the difference between electric? Wait, what's the difference between electric
You
and
need this.
electronic? Doc.
There's no electronic car, only electric car.
What? Well,
You're waiting for that. You're waiting for that.
So, why?
Akala ko
Okay.
nagbibiro lang eh.
So
Honest question.
by the way, on the chargers, we have what we call charging protocols. So you have the CCS2, which is the European standard, and then of course that's the thing. There's the North American standards, and then you've got also CHAdeMO, which is mostly Japanese, and some of the Korean units, and then China also have their own standards, GBT. So.
What do we use here? What is common here?
Previously, it's a problem because it's going to be costly if charging stations would provide all
For all of them,
yeah.
yes.
So Philippines adopted a national standard, CCS2, but it has also accredited standards, which is all the other protocols. So what do we mean by that? So if you have a charging station, at the very least, you need to have CCS2. And but if you're going to add on to it, then yeah, that's also possible. But right now, we would see that it's now mostly going into CCS2. Yes.
Under the EVAP, you also you are also in charge of the 2-wheel, 3-wheel electric vehicles.
Yeah, we
Or
also
are you-
cover those. Yes, also
Are you
cover
just for
those.
the four wheel?
Yeah, also
electric
2 wheels,
vehicles?
3 wheels, yeah.
How
Those
do you,
that are those that require registration, right?
you
In electric vehicles, we have what we call LEVs. So,
what are LEVs?
light electric vehicles.
Okay.
And then you have the normal vehicles like the car setup. So under UN regulations, these are classified as L vehicles. Then you have the M vehicles, which are the ordinary cars, the normal cars. So we have L1 up to L7, I think, or L8. The small ones that we see, these are the L1s and the L2s. So these are light electric vehicles that travel no more than 50 kilometers per hour.
Oh.
Yeah. And then beyond that, then you have L3, L4, L5. So right now, for an L1 and an L2 units, you don't have to register them. But I think their operations are only confined. They're supposed to be confined in certain areas,
You don't
Like
have
subdivisions, villages,
like subdivisions and
where the
subdivisions and villages.
yes, where the rider doesn't have to possess a driver's license.
Yes, and but right now it's being allowed also to operate outside. There used to be an LTO AO administrative order disallowing them to be operated outside, but that has been repealed, and so for now they're allowed. But eventually, I would expect that there will be new rulings on that one.
So for the light electric vehicles, you don't need the license. But for the four-wheel electric vehicles, you need the license to.
No, you don't
Drive.
need a license for L1 and L2.
Okay,
But L3, this is the equivalent of the normal motorcycles.
you have
Then
to have
you need to have a license already. So L3,
Okay.
R4, R5, up to L7, yes.
If they are not registered in the LTO, they should be registered in your association,
No, they have to be registered also in
the LTO.
starting L3.
starting L3.
Yeah.
Okay, so but you and your association, you have a list of all the 24,000 cars are going around.
No.
No.
We don't have. We only know the brands that are available locally, but not really the breakdown.
Doc Manny,
Okay.
you mentioned brands, no? Before going to the station, I just made a list. No, without
Of the brands.
without searching. yung maaalala ko lang, no?
Yeah.
So
So there are like 15, and I'm sure kulang yung 15, no? There's more.
Yeah, if you want to check what are the electric vehicles available, you can go to the DO website.
DOE.
Then it provides you with all the list of the electric vehicles that they have accredited.
Available.
Yes.
Oh, they have
And
accredited.
available also locally.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Doc Manny, for example, BMW has been rolling out EVs now, no? For the past year or so.
Oh, EVs, not hybrids.
Mas nahuli nga yung ano eh.
Yung hybrid sila. No?
Oo no na EVs eh. So BMW is also now a member of EVAP.
Yeah, PGA cars, they're joining our
Yeah, because they had the
events,
Macan
yes,
already,
yeah.
e-tron, the Audi e-tron. So yeah,
they're joining our
soon.
events, but that doesn't really mean that they're members.
They're members of the association.
Yeah, but for example, BYD and
Shanghai
Volvo,
Hongqi.
they are our members.
Yes.
Okay. We've got more questions for. I'm learning so much because I don't know anything.
Prospective buyer.
No, I don't know anything about electric vehicles.
Electronic.
Difference nga na electric tsaka electronic, di ko alam eh. Diba? So we're gonna know more about that. And of course, guys, you are more than welcome to join in.
Magic 89.9.
And this is Pit Stop with Jada.
We, ZG, and the other guy.
The other guy who's not here right now. And of course, Doc Manny from EVAP is our guest for this afternoon. And yesterday, when we found out that you were our guest for today, our boss, Sarge,
Yes.
the Sarge, asked us,
The boss.
the boss, to ask you, how does the EV fare when it's baha? We're talking about floods
Yeah.
in the metro. Yeah. So Sarge, if
There's
you're
actually a
tuned in, this is
question
for
like
you.
asked by
By
everyone.
a
Yeah.
lot, yeah. So how does it fare? How does the
Can you
EV
debunk
fare?
the myth?
Nahihinto, sisabog, whatever.
Okay, first we have what we call ingress protection. So it's a level of protection of electronic products and electric products.
Okay.
So most of the EVs right now are IP67 protected, which means that they can handle submersion to floods for a limited time. And then
For a limited time.
for a limited time, let's say for about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Submersion while moving or
while moving, it means it's still able to operate.
okay.
Well, even
For an hour. We're talking about
some
floods now, Eggay.
And then you have also like IP68 or IP69 wherein you can stay longer even at a higher depth. And then you have also IP65. It could withstand some submersions also, but a more limited time, mostly for splashes. So there are two things that you protect the electric equipments, dust and water. So you have to check what is the IP protection of your EVs. So if you're expecting that you're gonna pass through floods, it would be good to consider getting at least an IP67 rated electric vehicles.
So what are the brands that are IP67? Or all of them are. All of them, they have that.
All of
Is
them,
that the
of course,
minimum
they would have.
requirement for?
Right now, it's becoming the minimum requirements
I see.
for the mainstream brands. Yeah. But of course, we have the electric tricycles, we have the electric jeepneys that are locally made. So we're still at this point we're trying to set up the technical regulations for those. But for the mainstream brands, the mere fact that they are being exported globally, then I would assume they should be at least IP67 protected.
Oh, I
So
see.
the IP67, Doc Manny, doesn't pertain to the height.
No.
No.
Yeah, it indicates that the vehicle is protected from dust and
Splash?
from dust and submersion. Yeah.
Oh, not just
So
splash.
even an EV sedan,
Yeah.
basta IP67, medyo kaya niya
Yeah,
higher.
for a limited time. If you
For the-
you want to, if you
Just
want
escape, just
yeah,
cross
to
a
escape,
certain.
yeah, but
Yeah.
but if you want a bit longer in
No,
floods,
no.
then you go IP69, I think, or IP68.
Okay, so if you go longer, then it stops, of course.
Yes, but it has all fail-safe protection and safety provisions. So hindi ka naman
Not like an
makukuryente.
ice.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how when it stops, what happens?
Yeah,
like
so
sparks
my-
and everything, or it just
My question is like for ICE engines, if that happens, di ba ang nangyayari, you bring it already to a shop. So
Yes.
is it gonna be the same for an EV if that happens?
You have to
or
bring
you
it
just
to a
have
shop.
or you just
Yeah.
have to you also have to bring it.
Yeah, you have to bring it to the shop. So right now, for example, we're going to introduce soon, together with one of our projects with Unido, we're crafting a training program for electric vehicle emergency responders or emergency personnel. So this includes the towing personnel. Because what do you do pagka may nag-stall dyan?
Yes.
Pwede mo bang hilahin yan? Baka makuryente ka pa.
Uh-huh.
So also for recovery personnels, pag may na-aksidente, pwede mo pong putulin itong
Yes,
yung
the
mga
pillars.
pillars na yan.
Yes.
So those things. And also for the paramedics. And also for the firefighters. So yeah, we're going to launch a training program on that. And
Okay,
hopefully
so-
leading to a certification.
Okay, by saying that, it means in cases of vehicular accidents, medyo mas mahirap. Hindi naman mahirap. It's different from ICE and EVs. Like, for example, the A pillar, you can just cut it.
Yeah.
There might be
There
some
are
current.
safety precautions that you need to do first. For example, you have to look for the high voltage cut-off switch. So you're gonna just cut it.
Okay.
Biglaan, no? Yeah. So, and then of course, there are some PPEs that you have to wear. So, ito mga to.
Before you can even-
touching,
Yes,
before you
yes,
even touch the car,
Yes.
just to be sure. Yeah.
You just have one. You just have to have one ready with you all the time, on the off chance that you know how to operate
Yes,
that part of your
exactly.
that part of your vehicle.
I'm talking about the emergency responders.
Yes,
They need
not the
to-
owners.
Not the owners. Okay, so you don't. That is one of the many questions. The baha and if I can go to Baguio. According to Doc Manny a while ago, usually for
Yeah, yeah.
EV buyers, baha. What do I do with the baha?
Yeah.
And if I can go to Baguio. Now, since we are on that, so they're already thinking how far they can go. And sometimes these people, nauso ngayon yung you're gonna sakay your car to the Roro if you're
Yes,
going
yes.
off the island of Luzon and going
Mindoro.
to or Moc or
Vismin.
Leyte,
Yeah.
things like that. do you have charging places in the boats now? Those ships that bring the cars to islands. in
Yeah,
the Philippines.
coincidentally, EVAP just signed a memorandum agreement with the to go
Wow.
ferry services.
Perfect.
Yes.
So they're gonna provide our members discounts on the shipping of their
Charging.
cars when they sell. At the same time, one of the areas also that will be covered is the installation of charging points in the Ro-Ro vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have
That'll
an
be
EV, habang nasa barko yung sasakyan mo, you
Yes.
can charge it, then you can drive once you reach
There are
the-
trips
nice.
as long as
Yeah.
there are trips that last for 24 hours.
Yes.
12 hours.
Yes.
15
Overnight.
hours. Yes.
Yeah. You know this. You've joined whenever they with the groups.
The media.
The media. Yeah. The media runs for
Yeah.
different car brands. You
And,
you joined, right?
Yeah, but
Gas
I think the last time I joined such wala pang EV company na gumawa.
Dapat.
In
There should be
1989
one.
pa yun eh.
Recently,
Grabe,
no, but wait.
1989.
recently you joined this what's this EV brand? But pero hindi naman siya inter-island, no? I think you guys went to La Union or Baguio or basta somewhere in Luzon.
Well, that wasn't me. Pero I was able to drive a BYD to Baguio and back
And
to
back.
Manila.
Zero charging?
Unfortunately, we had to charge because we used a small vehicle. They were trying to market this Atto 3. It's a smaller than the usual EV that are actually that you usually see on the road, like the C-Line 6. So yeah, pero Doc, how do you address probably the biggest or probably one of the biggest issues with people purchasing EVs? The anxiety range. How do you erase that from a consumer?
Potential buyers.
I think two things. First is through information education campaigns. Because if you look at data, more than 95% of the time you charge your EVs either at home or in your workplace. So
Yes.
the charging stations outside, it's just most of the time used for emergency situations. Supposedly. So that's number one. And then number two is to have a strategic program really on where to install charging stations. For example, for Metro Manila, charging stations in Baguio or in Tagaytay or places where normally Metro Manilans would go over the weekend, this would help sales for Metro Manila. So also prioritizing transit points, highways. Yeah, so it's really more on when you go out. So to address that really is to populate the highways with
charging stations.
We don't need them much in the urban area. It's really more on transit points.
In the city.
So right now, Doc, they have data like how many charging stations are there nationwide right now?
Yeah, there is. But I have to check my.
While you check that, okay, we will come back. While you check that, let's play more music. Why don't we? Okay?
course.
No, we're not playing Why Don't We. We're playing BB No Money on Pit Stop.
Magic 89.9.
You got Jada, Gamboa, and Eggay, Quesada, and Doc Manny from EVAP. So our conversation off air, let's pick it up from what we were talking about off air, is the availability of rescue. On the off chance that you get car trouble for your EV. Is it by brand? Is it available by brand, or is there like a one central help station for all the EVs in the country?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. And that's a good idea. Right now, we still don't have that. But some of the suppliers have those services. You can call them if you have got problems. So, and for example, AC Mobility, which handles Kia and BYD,
BYD.
they have mobile chargers. So pag naubusan ka, they're
Call
gonna
them.
go to you, they're gonna charge your
I think
vehicle. and you can-
Wherever in the
up to
country you are.
20%, right?
Charge your battery and charge your wallet.
Charge, yes, at the same
Of course,
time.
for
But
convenience,
we're going to talk
convenience.
about the wallet later. But yeah, so for certain brands, there are mobile.
For certain brands, yes. there are mobile
Yeah,
chargers.
okay. But
If your brand
yes.
doesn't have that, then maybe it's nice if you have an AAP membership, right?
Yes.
At least to tow
it's
you.
also covered by AAP membership, yes.
Alam mo, I think eventually AAP will
Will
have
expand.
will have that kind of service like
Yeah.
for EVs, no?
For EVs,
May
yeah.
chargers na rin sila. I'm sure that will happen.
Yeah. So,
Pinagunahan na naman
oh,
natin.
but no, my question also is, so not one size fits all pala yung charger. Like, for a different brand, it's a different charger.
No,
You can't use it for...
It's not a universal
right?
outlet,
It's not
no?
like for phones,
No,
for
not
iOS,
USB-C.
and for...
No.
Right?
Not that way. Let's have Doc Manny
Yeah.
answer.
Okay.
There are four, as
Four.
I mentioned,
Ah.
four standards right now. So there are four types of like in cell phones before. So like you have four types
Type
of
C,
sockets.
yes.
Yes.
Apple.
Right now. But there's one that is dominating. So eventually I would assume parang
The
type
CS.
C rin yan. Yung CCS2.
CS2.
Na eventually magiging CCS2 siya. Yeah.
Kasi, for example, like for Androids, diba? If let's say if your charger is a Samsung, you can use it in another Android
Yeah.
for another Android. What if,
Yes.
let's say my car is, let's say, a BYD, and then I don't have the BYD charger, or the mobile chargers are all
Correct.
They're all busy. Can I call somebody from another car dealer for their for to charge my battery because I need it now?
Technically, yes, as long as the same charging protocol.
But I guess the payment would be different.
I don't
It's-
even
they
I don't
probably
even know
charge
if
more.
they do interoperability of those stuff business wise. But technically, yes. But business wise, I'm not familiar. But that's an interesting question. Something that I can ask the industry here.
Okay, so how tipid will I have, when I purchase an EV as compared to, let's say, a hybrid or
Okay. So
or
right
not
now,
hybrid at all?
right now I'm doing a feasibility study to electrify around 30 to 40 airport taxis. So an ordinary taxi, the IRR is around ROI is around 16 to 20%. If you go EV, that goes up to around 30 to 35%. So that's how much difference that you
Yes.
get. So you save on the maintenance and also on the fuel.
Okay, I'm saving on the maintenance. I'm saving on the fuel. Am I saving on electricity?
Yes, because the electricity cost, eventually your energy cost is a lot lower because you're using electricity. So, just to give you some basic figures for the math, an ordinary sedan, right, would be
ICE.
around ICE around 12 city driving, right, kilometers per liter.
Yes.
That's that's a very generous
Yeah, that's even very generous. So maybe 8 or 9.
Okay.
A very 6.
An EV normally is around 6 or 7 kilometers per kilowatt hour. So per kilowatt hour is around 12 pesos. So you can do the math.
My nose is bleeding right
I
now.
already actually.
Oh, wait, saying
No,
saying
wala
what's
na.
up to attorney Don DRs who's listening right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
where is Attorney Don D.
I think he's on his way to the gym.
No, how is he related to you, and why are we
He is
greeting him?
related to me because he's my G. Thanks for listening, bro.
Thank you so much for listening, Attorney.
Oh, sasabihin na ako. I want to say hi. My friend messaged me, said...
My question for Doc Manny.
No, I'm enjoying the EV topic on Pit Stop now.
Really?
Yeah. JC De Leon, thank you, bro. JC, by the way, among other things, he is, ewan ko hanggang ngayon, he's a yoga instructor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kaya kami friends eh. Hindi ba alam na nag-yoga? Wala ako sa itsura ko.
Nasa itsura mo naman.
Just kidding.
Reconstructive yoga, JC. Do you do that? Is he a teacher or a practitioner?
Teacher.
He's a teacher. Reconstructive ba yung yoga na yun? Anyway, do you do that, JC? Does he not have a question for...
No, he just said he's enjoying the topic now.
Alam mo, there are so many things that we need to know about driving, owning, and the laws that will cover EV, because right now regulation is not that much on the EV. Kasi nga, 'di ba, payag sila sa they're exempted from all these color coding schemes or
Yes.
odd even
Odd
schemes that
even,
we're having right now on the major thoroughfares. How are we on the laws with that?
Yeah. As much as possible, we would want the regulations to be very minimal at this point. Yeah, but eventually it would have.
But this is the perfect time to buy one, guys.
I love the unscheduled smirk.
Okay, guys, if you're gonna buy an EV, this is the right time. Because, yeah.
So, for example, this is not the right time to regulate the charging fees. Because he would want to invite investors
Right.
on the charging
Yes,
infra.
yes.
So
Yeah.
those kind of things. But of course, technically, the technical stuff that would ensure safety, it has to be there.
Oh,
But
yes.
in terms of business-wise, we're trying to relax first a bit all the rules and regulations, provide more incentives, because we would want investors to come in, develop our charging infra, want people to buy EVs. Yeah. But safety-wise, technical-wise, I think that's non-negotiable. Yeah.
Yes, of course, absolutely. So, are there things that you wanna impart to our listeners and to our viewers over at playback.tv/magic899 that we haven't discussed so far?
If they've got questions, I'd love to answer them. But I think, yeah, as you've said, this is the right time to buy an EV now. So before there was this discussion like we're still not ready, but we will always say we will never be ready until we start it.
And we're here right now.
And we're here right now.
Yeah.
So before there's an argument, let's not go EV first because we don't have the charging infra. We don't start it. We'll never have the charging
have it.
infra. So yeah, so like invite everyone to consider buying an EV. Yeah, it is the right time, especially that we've got so much incentives at this point. Come 2028, we are going to review the incentives and policies around this. Things might change, but hopefully not. As you mentioned,
Please.
Yeah, but hopefully not.
Eh, pero Doc, one last thing, no? Are you planning to implement something like every manufacturer or every brand should carry a power bank provided by the brand? Since
Tama.
I test drove an EV. I won't name it. Pero I was down to like 2%, and they were about to pick the unit up. They couldn't lift a finger anymore because
Okay.
baka hindi umabot
Yes.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So don't you think that's a possibility for EVAP to implement this?
I think eventually yes, but for some electric jeepneys and electric tricycle, manufacturers, for example, their vehicles have an option to plug in an external battery
Yes.
system. Because electric jeepneys normally they're to limit the cost, because that's a very price sensitive market, right? You've got a limited range. Anyway, you're just roaming around there throughout the day. You don't really get out of your route. But in some cases wherein you have to bring your jeepneys outside, then you can rent an external battery pack. Use it so that you can, let's say, go
I'll
as
just
far as,
carry my own electricity. Because
Yeah,
you use that for
so-
camping.
So you,
Right.
you
You
carry
just carry your own
carry
electricity.
Then you can
Yeah.
you can rent that extra pack. But then if you don't need it, then you return.
And a brand actually
brands
has
Their own.
the last one I borrowed, which had a power bank or an external charger, wireless charger, was Hyundai. When I drove the Ioniq 6, so may ready power outlets.
Which comes with the car when you purchase it.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's good for
fantastic.
around 15 to 20%. That's not so bad.
Not so bad.
That will bring you to the nearest charging station na kagad.
But
Yes.
you can also buy actually your own battery.
like a
battery
generic
packs.
brand? Or,
Yeah, generic brand.
There
Your
are
own-
suppliers. There are
yeah.
service providers.
You bring your own electricity, like
Yeah.
the ones that you bring for camping. Like you won't know the difference because you can plug everything: your phone, your fridge, everything.
Then you can charge. Yes.
Then you can charge your car.
Then you can just rent it and then
There you go, problem
plug it there.
solved.
Yes.
Pero so much for my question.
But that's a valid one.
I have a question for Wino. Bakit parang hindi ka happy sa Civic hybrid mo na you had to buy... Hindi, kinento niya sa akin to eh. Naglagay siya ng solar panel sa Civic, sa CRV niya.
Tapos wala.
Yun lang, yun lang. Just kidding. No, I have now we have a real
Question.
phone-in question. Yes, Doc. This is from Billy Villano, our friend.
Billy Billionario.
Yes, his question is, meron na bang pricing on EV battery replacement and structure for battery disposal?
Yeah. Okay. So for the first one, at least for the electric jeepneys and tricycles, there is. But for the
Vehicles.
for the vehicles,
Passenger vehicles, yeah.
some of the brands have those. But I would assume that it will be completely different by the time that they would need to replace them.
Yeah, no,
Their
masyado nang
vehicles.
mababa.
Masyadong
Hopefully,
mababa
yeah.
na yun. Pero normally it's around 30% to 40% of the price of the vehicles. But that is an ex-factory price, so I would assume around 20 to 30%. based on
Yes.
SRP. So
Okay.
that's number one. And then second, in terms of battery disposal. If you look at globally, all battery recycling facilities are located in Europe. Most of them are in Europe and in China. Why China and Europe? Because there is the investment is so high. There's an economies of scale. China, they have so much batteries already or vehicles, so it becomes feasible. Europe is mostly policy driven and subsidy driven.
I love
So,
the word subsidy.
in the Philippines, in the Philippines, there are two stages kasi. First one is to do reusage, so which means it's no longer.
Is it called recycling?
Recycling.
It's not.
No.
First stage is reusage, then second is recycling.
The usage and
The
recycling.
usage is you unpack the battery pack, and because it's just like cell phone.
Yes.
It may no longer be used as a cell phone, but for some other applications,
It will work.
Could still work. So you can use batteries, for example, from EVs, repack them, and then use it for solar battery, solar PVs storage. And then that should buy you around 15 more years to 20 more years. And then by that time, we're assuming that recycling facilities will now be available locally.
Nice.
Okay, somebody on playback is speaking of value and money and all that. Princess with 3 S's. What is the resale value of an EV after 5 years, say?
We still don't have figures on that one.
Juicy.
Yeah.
I know. It's something that we paused for, and maybe
Yeah,
we can talk about when Doc comes back.
But that's a very good question.
And a concern as well. Very good concern.
And it's also a very good concern. But technically, if I'm going to look at it, I would look at like how much kilometers it has traveled already, and then
Just
from
like any
there-
other car.
Yes, and then from there I can separate the
The wear and
battery,
tear and stuff.
Yeah.
the battery stuff. Then I can price it differently, like
The
how much-
cycle.
Accordingly.
the cycles, and then you look at also.
Will you be able to
documentation.
monitor the cycle, like,
Oh yes,
would you
yes,
know?
yes.
It should
yes,
have a
yes,
record.
yes.
It should have a
It's
record,
all,
right?
It's all in the records and everything. Yes.
Last, Jada. I mean,
Yes, go.
we already talked about this earlier, but
Paano last hanggang 6 o'clock tayo dito?
no. My good friend Alan Marasigan, he's asking about,
Alan.
of course, the EVs and hybrids being exempted from the odd even scheme. So yes, we were able to talk about it earlier. It is indeed. They are indeed accepted from the odd even scheme in EDSA that's about to start on June 16. Yeah.
And also the grabs, right?
Yes, TNBS.
TNBS seniors, healthcare workers?
Seniors.
Or is it
MDs,
limited to
MDs.
doctors only, MDs only? I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
That-
okay.
I mean, there's a lot will be developed, in the coming weeks. So
I'm
just,
sure.
open your ears, guys. and
It's
your
in the
eyes.
baby, I know. It's in the baby stages. So, Doc, wait. If they have more questions, how can they get in touch with EVAP? Like, do you have a website?
Yeah,
SOCMED?
we
Okay.
have a website. Yes, yes.
What's your website?
evap.com.ph.
There you
And
go.
SOCMED, social media accounts?
Yeah, it's also EVAP. You can just search Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines. So it's-
On Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook,
and
yes.
Threads and
Yeah.
X. Wow, nasa Threads na.
Okay,
Astig.
Snapchat. Just kidding.
Before we forget, no, Doc Manny, why don't you briefly talk about the transport and
yeah.
the one from De La Salle University?
Yeah. So by the way, I'm also with the. I'm a professor at De La Salle University. I handle the Logistics and Transport Institute.
Nice.
But the Mechanical Engineering in La Salle, in partnership with our institute, will be starting this September a bachelor's degree in mobility engineering.
That's
So yeah. So,
Yeah, oo nga, no?
Sorry, bachelor's degree in
mobility engineering. And then you have the
Wow.
option also to bridge this to mechanical engineering after you
Bachelor's party
after you
lang alam mo.
graduate. So it's more on that one. So this will integrate the social side, the technical side, the legal side, investments, economics, business. So the vision really is to create professionals that are able to implement innovations in the mobility space.
Wow,
Nice,
nice.
nice.
That's very nice. We hope to have you again
Yes, Doc.
in the show. And
For sure.
We anything to promote?
Kindly follow my pages, Autofocus PH and Motoring Today. So,
Okay. How about you, Eggay?
Please do check out our socials, Autocar Philippines and Wheels Philippines. And of course, Pit Stop sa IG account.
oh, there you go.
Pit
please.
Stop.
Yeah.
Meron tayong IG account.
Nalimutan ko na rin. Pitstop 89.9.
I didn't even know about this. So, guys, we have
See yourself out,
Instagram
please.
account.
See ourselves out.
I will take, this is,
She's gonna bring us down.
Yeah. Kasama.
No, Jada loves us.
Of course. Oh, so we have an IG account pala.
Yes.
Pitstop
899.
89.9.
89.9 on, and we are going to be back next Wednesday, same time, same place. Thank you so much, Doc Manny.
Thanks.
And good luck on all the endeavors of your association on EVAP, okay, for this year and the years to come. In the meantime, let's have some dancing. Oh yeah, Rose of Blackpink and Bruno Mars, APT, you know this. Pit Stop with Jada, we and Eggay on Magic 89.9.
Magic 89.9.